Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Daryl, good afternoon. It is, by the way, if you have just pressed play and you're watching the video and it isn't Tuesday, the 20th of January at midday, you're most welcome, but you are actually watching on playback. But you can still ask questions and we will try to get back to you if we can. And I have to introduce to my right, we have the wonderful Daryl from the Solo Holiday Forum at Passion for Cruises, who's at PFC HQ. Good afternoon, Daryl.
Good afternoon, Peter. How the devil are you? Are you well?
I am well. This is a new one for us, doing a Tuesday, isn't it? To be honest with you, which is wonderful. So if you are watching, by the way, and you are watching live, please say hello. Please let us know where you're watching from. And this is a great opportunity to ask some questions if you have any questions. As always, we're just going to give a minute or so for everyone to join us. Now, Daryl, we have this amazing opportunity for a brand new classical Jordan hosted, escorted trip.
Yes, Peter. We're delighted to bring this one to PFC TV today. So this is actually going on the 21st of November this year, and it's going to be hosted with our very famous Lizzy Lou, which is absolutely fantastic. And the great thing about this trip, obviously we'll go into more detail in a moment, but the great thing about this trip and with Passion for Cruises, if you want to give us a call, we've got a local rate number, which is fantastic from our side. And
that's the number, Daryl.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Peter. That number is 02920 619 961. That number again, 02920 619 961. And the great thing is you will speak to a human being and our sales advisors are ready to take your calls.
Wonderful opportunity. We only have so much availability left, Daryl, just to let you know. So if it's right for you, please give the team a call. They are waiting for you now. So Daryl, please talk us through this brand new classical Jordan. It's a PFC hosted solo escorted tour with the wonderful Lizzy Lou.
Yeah. So Peter, as you've alluded to, it's a hosted one. We've got Lizzy hosting this one in November. It's based on London Heathrow flights, but the great thing is we can offer our customers Edinburgh, Manchester, and Newcastle connections as well. So that's something to point out. We know we've got customers all over the UK and beyond, but on this occasion, it is based on the London Heathrow British Airways flights, but we can offer Edinburgh, Manchester, and Newcastle as well that will connect on. And with the flight timings, and I will go into them in a bit more detail, with the flight timings, they work out perfect. So you can fly down the same day. You don't have to worry about overnight hotel on the first day or the last day. So that's fantastic. really works well for our guests.
And Daryl, this is the highlights of the tour.
Yeah, so believe it or not, Peter, for a lot of people who don't know, Jordan is on a lot of people's bucket list. And the great thing about Jordan's approximately a 5.5 to 6 hour flight. It's kind of seen as mid-haul. So it's a great place to go in November. The temperatures are really nice as well. So it's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's not full of tourists at these times either. So for the solo guest, hopefully it won't be too much, i.e. when you're going to the likes of Petra, etc. But just to go through the highlights, you explore the dazzling rock formations and ancient rock cut tombs of Petra and Little Petra. And as I said, I'll go into more detail about these places. You get to visit the historic Citadel and Blue Mosque in Amman's historic center. You'll see the famous map of Jerusalem and the Holy Land on day 3. And that's really kind of quite cool because that's based on the St. George's Church. So yeah, so like I say, there's so much you'll be doing.
CJ, we'll show the photos later. Yes,
yeah. And then we'll see the Roman ruins of Jerash. We'll discover the imposing hilltop castle of El Karat. You'll journey on a jeep safari through the dramatic rolling deserts dunes of Wild Rum before you stay in your tented village, which is really cool. And then the best thing about this tour, Pete, and me and you have spoken about obviously your India trip that you did recently. This one actually has days at leisure. Now, a lot of people, when they look at our tours, one of the feedback we get quite often is, I wish there was a few more days at leisure where we could just completely chill out after doing all of these amazing things. This tour on the last 2 days has days of leisure for our customers, and that's where you can possibly float in the Dead Sea. So yeah, hopefully that we'll have a great group photo of all
I'm
our
not sure. I'm not sure I will float, to be honest with you, Darryl. But and what's included?
Yeah, so hand-picked accommodation, including 2 5-star hotels. So 4-star hotels and 5-star hotels, your own room guaranteed, as you know. And I want to just highlight this for every guest. If someone's new to PFC, because we get these questions a lot, do we have our own rooms? We do not encourage sharing at all. It's all about your own rooms with PFC. So you will have your own solo room guaranteed. You'll have 15 meals throughout your stay, 5 excursions. You have expert local guides. So you have your tour manager, you have your host, but you also have expert local guides when you're going to visit all the famous ruins and all this amazing architecture from many years gone by. All your entrance fees, international return flights. And the great thing about it, it's British Airways. So we can do the connections from Edinburgh, Manchester, and Newcastle. Overseas transfers and transport as per itinerary. Hold luggage, obviously. And then the most important thing, we are triple protected because we're part of the TTNG group. We've got APTA and ATOL protection as well, because this is alongside our friends at Mercury Holidays.
And there is the deal, Darryl.
Yeah. So the pricing, Peter, great pricing for our solo guests. Going out, as I said, for 7 nights on the 21st of November, 2026. A lead-in from Heathrow is £2,249. You can fly from Edinburgh, Manchester, and Newcastle, where you'll connect. So it'll be a British Airways flight down. You'll then connect onto the flights to Jordan, and they're at 2,339 per person. Okay. So yet again, there's an opportunity there to get them added on and get them booked with ourselves from hopefully your nearest local airport, where you can then move on to Heathrow. And the deposit on this one, all we need to do today is take 295. Now, it's important to highlight again, which you've alluded to earlier, Peter, there's only 9 spaces left. We actually put this on sale last week, and it's gone really well. Obviously, with everything else we've had on offer, I know there's a lot to take in for customers, but there's 9 places left for our members. So if they are thinking about it today, I would get in and pay the 295 so they can secure their place and go on what will be another fabulous hosted tour.
Yeah, and that's the number to call, folks. It's the local number. If it's right for you and you want to grab one of those 9 places, 02920619961. The itinerary, Darryl.
Yeah, so I'll go through the itinerary in a little bit of detail just to kind of paint a bit of a picture for our customers if they don't know much about Jordan. So day 1, as we said, you fly in. The flight's later on in the evening. So from London Heathrow, it kind of leaves at 3:10. You won't arrive into Jordan until 23:45. That's really important on that first night, because what you'll do is you'll fly in. And then that night you'll meet all, hopefully the great thing is you'll all be flying in from Heathrow regardless of where you come from. So you'll meet your fellow solo travelers. And then the great thing is you'll hopefully have built up friendships already. So when you do arrive into Amman, then like you say, you can go to bed, have a good night's sleep. And then the following day, day 2, is where it all really starts to kick in.
Yeah. Okay. Day 2, Darryl.
Yeah, so this is where you'll get to see the city of Amman, and this is really important because it's kind of split into a morning and afternoon. So what Amman's famous for is folklore. There's a core folklore museum in Jordan located beside the Roman Theatre in Amman, which focuses on traditional Jordan culture, including rural villages, cultures, urban traditions. So you get to see how people would have lived many years gone by, and just look at the local traditions. And I think that's really important now, is when we go to all of these places, actually finding out how the locals live and how they've lived in the past and how this amazing city's become. You'll get to see kind of stuff like costumes, musical instrument, craft tools, household items, equestrian equipment, all these things from centuries gone by. So like I said, just an excellent way to understand Jordanian culture. And then in the afternoon, and this is where it really gets quite cool, this is where you visit Jerash. You're there to explore one of the best preserved Roman cities in the world, dating back 6,500 years, Peter.
Wow.
So just to see that from that perspective will be absolutely amazing. What's really important about these theatres as well, it's long standing. There's theatres, statues, inscriptions, which were all hidden in the sand for centuries. So yeah, really, really cool start to your trip. And on certain days, and if fingers crossed our guests are lucky, on certain days you can watch Roman drills, gladiator style demonstrations, including
Wow.
chariot reenactments. So that's only
Fantastic.
your first day actually, or day two, but actually in Amman. And then day three, this is where you'll move on to kind of Petra. So in the morning, you'll set off for the city of Madaba, which is in central Jordan, approximately about 30 kilometers away from southwest Amman, famous for its 6th century mosaic. And as I mentioned earlier, it's St. George's Church. So this is, they think, one of the first or the oldest surviving map on record, that picture that was just shown then. So yeah, so this is
Wow.
really, really cool. And if you notice, it even like mentions Bethlehem. So yeah, so you'll get to see that. You'll then move on to Mount Nebo, associated with Moses. So this played a really important part for Moses, because this is the viewing platform for the Promised Land, and they actually think that Moses's remains are or grave is somewhere in that point. So that's where he died and was buried. And then finally, you're going to visit El Karak, which is best known for imposing the 12th century crusade.
Wow.
And it's got the Crusader Castle, one of the most important medieval fortresses in Jordan in the Middle East. So that's day three. So if you are
Okay.
into your culture, your history, or your artifacts, this is a great place to go. Day four is where you'll really move on to Petra, and this new unique city is one of the 7 wonders of the world, Peter. So
Yeah.
it's a UNESCO heritage site, carved into sheer rock faces by the Arabs, that turned it into an important junction. Now, I didn't know this, and this is a great thing because I've never been to Jordan, but just doing my research on on Jordan itself, this actually became one of the most important junctions for the silk, spice, and other trade routes linked to China, India, Greece, Egypt, and ancient Rome. So there you go. So
Wow.
that just gives you a perspective of Petra. You'll have a full day to explore the elaborate tombs, temples, altars, and Roman style theatres. So that's your day four. So are you all right so far, Pete? There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
isn't there?
There's so
So
much going on. And so we move on to day 5.
day
It's
five.
incredible. Petra
Yeah.
to Wadi
Yes.
Rum.
Day 5 is Petra to Wadi Rum. So you'll visit El Badid, known for Little Petra. So not quite as busy, and famous for cave paintings, rock cut tombs, and structures. And you'll witness century-old dining halls, washrooms, skillfully carved into the stone. So it just
Wow.
shows how amazing these people were, with obviously not all the tools and technology we have today, going back many moons ago. You'll then move on to the desert dunes of Wadi Rum. This is really, really cool, and part of one of Jordan's most spectacular natural landscapes, often called the Valley of the Moon. This is where you'll enjoy. And yet again, I mentioned this earlier, Pete, but this is the bit that I think there'd be a lot of laughs that night. I have no doubt. But yeah, this is where you'll have an overnight stay in an authentic desert camp called Magic Rum, in spacious tents boasting
Wow.
mountain views. So just for our guests who are already booked on it, if they're watching, I can imagine you and our host Lizzy and the tour manager, you're going to have so much fun
And
that night.
I can
And
imagine the sky and the
oh my
stars,
God, yeah.
because no light pollution and stuff like that. Must be absolutely stunning. Incredible,
Yeah,
Dale.
no, it really is.
Mm.
And then, as I've said, like day 6 and 7, this is the important bit. Day 6 and 7, Wadi Rum, sorry, to the Dead Sea. No tour manager on these days. This is where, like I say, having a host really plays its part, because you have days at leisure. So you'll be staying at the Crown Plaza Dead Sea Resort and Spa. That's a 5-star hotel. So it's a perfect opportunity if you want to just chill out. It's a great opportunity to hopefully bathe in the Dead Sea and prove that everybody can float in it. And temperatures around the Dead Sea, touch wood. Now, obviously, I'm not Mother Nature, but they should be around kind of 23 to 25.
Wow.
So you should be able to bathe in the sea at that point. So it's perfect for floating in what they call therapeutic waters, Peter. So
Wow.
yeah. And then finally, it will all come to an end.
Yeah.
Day 8, you fly home, but yet again, the flight is an early start, so it will be an early start on day 8. But it's 9:10 in the morning, getting back into Heathrow at 11:45. So for the guys connecting on to Manchester, Newcastle, and Edinburgh,
Yeah.
there's plenty of time, so they won't have to worry about missing their connecting flight.
And just to repeat, that is the wonderful deal. There's so much. This is bucket list. It really is, Dal.
Yeah, it really is, Peter. I think, like I say, we've got 9 places left. We've already got over 10 people booked on already. So you do know you're going to be joining a great group of PFC members. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to see a lot of excellent artifacts over the years and architecture. And just like I say, it's another great touring product we can bring our PFC members from a solo perspective.
And that's the number, just in case, if you're thinking about it, folks, what a great opportunity. It's the local number 02920 619 961. Give the team a call. And if you've got any questions, now's the time to ask. We won't run the video, CJ. We got people saying hello, Gillian, hello from London. How are you? And we have Tracy, who's in Hastings, another great place with great history. Jackie Mason from the Garden of England in Kent. And we have Sue watching for Leicestershire, interested in this, but not booked yet. Thought it might clarify for you. So, Sue, I hope it has clarified. I hope we've explained a few things. It's a great opportunity. And having a host with you, it can make a huge difference as well. And as always, we'll be running some of the normal things that we do. We'll be running our usual photo competition, which I would imagine will be stunning, where someone can win £100 PFC voucher. We have our wonderful £150 prize draw voucher. And I guess Lizzy might probably do that under the stars in the tent. That might be a wonderful place to do that. That will be absolutely stunning. And so we have all these things we do. And of course, you have the wonderful Lizzy Lou with you. And what she would do is she will set up a WhatsApp group for this around about a week beforehand, so you can all talk to each other and get to meet each other before, arrange to meet at the airport before. So there's lots of things going on. And of course, we have our wonderful PFC event, which we have set up, which Dal will get set up. Again, you can then talk to each other beforehand and get to know each other. So, Sue, if you've got any other questions, please ask Darryl. Hopefully, it's something that you would like to do.
Yeah, it's just to elaborate a little bit as well, Peter. The great thing is you have your host. So we've got Lizzy, we've got the tour managers and the local guides. So you're so well looked after. And then you've got the other PFC members on board as well. So you're going to meet friends for life. And I think that's the important thing. And no one knows hosting better than you do, Pete. And I think that's the important thing to really point out, and especially from a touring perspective, because there is a bit of downtime on touring, especially in the evening. So it's bringing the people together. And like I say, just having a bit of fun and just kind of talking about the days that you've just experienced, because like you say, you're going to experience these trips of a lifetime together.
And what you have said, having a host is wonderful. It really is. But I've got to say, having a tour manager who gets everything organized is brilliant. But having an expert with you is just worth its weight in gold, because they can talk, you can ask them questions, they can tell you all about the history. Their knowledge is just incredible. So having literally it's the three together is just absolutely fantastic. And Jacqueline booked through the lovely Sharon. Well done, Jacqueline. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It really is. And Lynn is watching for North Wales. What is the activity level?
That's a really good question, actually, Lynn. I can answer that now because I've got it up in front of me, actually. I was just making some notes while Peter was talking. These tours usually involve more travel to ensure you experience the best of the destination, Walking can be around 4 hours a day. You will cover more distance, may stay in a variety of hotels. These tours are not suitable for those with walking difficulties because it's set at intermediate pace.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea, Lynn, on that one as to the distance and how much you can travel and how much you can't travel. Yeah, I find our members are amazing, by the way, Darryl, because I've done some very tough tours and we've had people who've been able to do them as well, which is
Yeah, and
incredible.
I think
Yeah,
yeah, again, this is where
mm,
a host comes in, the tour manager
yeah,
comes in. If there's something you want to sit out or you don't fancy,
yeah,
there is no pressure on our guests to do it. They just have a quiet word and we can
yeah,
arrange. So if they want to go and sit in a coffee shop, they want to
yeah,
stay on the bus, if they want to do some, we can arrange
yeah.
that for them as long as it doesn't affect the transportation in between
Yes,
going from one destination to another.
brilliant.
So bear that in mind that, like you say, if you feel there may be a one day or two that you may struggle, that's where you just have conversations.
Yeah,
But yeah, we
absolutely.
will our host, that's what they're there for, to
You know.
assist.
Well, fantastic. Folks, what a wonderful opportunity. Again, that is the deal. It really is a bucket list opportunity. It's hosted with a wonderful Lizzy, which is incredible. You're going to have a tour manager who organizes everything for you, which is brilliant. And you're going to have an expert with you as well, which is worth their weight in gold. Absolutely fantastic deal. Darryl, thank you so much for coming on and talking through this. I know Lizzy is really, really excited. As always, CJ, thank you for putting everything together in the background. Really
No
appreciate
problem.
all your
Great
hard
show,
work.
guys, and lots to see there. Really, really good.
Yeah, there's so much to click on, so much to do. There really was, you know. And just to go through again, Jill was my concern too. Not as young and fit as I used to be, as Sue says. So that's something. Obviously, it's something for the member to decide, isn't it, Darryl? On that
Yeah,
one.
I think it is. But if
Mm.
it was Sue, wasn't it? Yeah. If Sue wants to give one of our team a call on
Yeah,
02920
yeah,
619 961, we're not a company who wants to make a fast buck or take a fast booking. We'd
yeah.
happily talk to them about it. And if they decide, yeah, it's going to work for them, or if they
You
decide
can
it's
do
not,
it. Yeah.
yeah. But just give us a call and our team will happily assist.
Thank you. Now, folks, yeah, if it's right for you, give the team a call. They are waiting to speak to you right now. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. We'll be back very soon with another wonderful tour. Thank you, Darryl in PFC HQ. Thank you, CJ, for everything you do behind the scenes. But most importantly, thank you to all our members who have watched and are watching. We really appreciate every single one of you. And I hope you can take advantages of this wonderful tour.